The village of Ileri clung to the edge of the savannah like a bird to a traveler's cloak. For 3 seasons, the rains had been shy, and the earth had turned to a hardened, thirsty brown. Young Ada, her hands calloused from drawing water from the deep, muddy hole that was the communal pit, dreamed of coolness. Her older brother, Chima, his brow perpetually furrowed with worry for the withering yam vines, dreamed of abundance. Their grandmother, Ezin, whose skin was like finely mapped clay, stirred a tin pot of soup. "The land remembers," she said, her voice a dry rustle. "When the thirst is deepest and the hearts of the people are woven with both hope and despair, the way to Udo's Mirror may open." Ada paused. Udo's Mirror. Is that a story? It is a memory, Ezin corrected. A well, not of water, but of the land's own spirit. It appears not in a place, but in a moment, once every generation. It is said that one person, pure of intent, may find it and ask for a boon to save the people. The last to see it was my own grandmother. She asked for rain, and for 10 years, our gourds overflowed. Why hasn't anyone found it since? Chima asked, practical as ever. Because the moment is fleeting, and the path is not for feet alone, but for the heart, Ezin said. It seeks a single worthy soul. This generation's moment is near. I feel it in my old bones. That night, a strange wind whistled through the village, carrying not dust, but the scent of damp soil and blooming water lilies. Ada and Chima, each lying awake in their separate huts, felt a pull, a silent melody humming just below their hearing. At the exact same moment, Ada threw off her light blanket and Chima sat up from his mat. They did not consult. They simply knew. Silently, they slipped from their homes and passed the sleeping village. At the edge of the termite mound that marked the boundary, they saw each other. You feel it too? Ada whispered, her eyes wide with excitement. Chima nodded, his cautious mind racing. Grandmother said one person. Only one. But the path called to both of us, Ada argued. Maybe the story is wrong. Maybe this time is different. With no better option, they walked side by side. The familiar dry path shimmered. The acacia trees, skeletal against the moonlit sky, seemed to bow inward, forming an archway where none had been. The air grew cool and thick. Instead of the crunch of dry grass, their feet now whispered through dewy fans. We shouldn't both be here, Chima murmured, a knot of anxiety in his stomach. We are, Ada said, her determination a shield. So we both must be meant to see it. The path ended in a circular clearing bathed in soft, silver light that came from nowhere and everywhere. In the center was the well. It was not built of stone or wood, but seemed woven from living roots and strands of moonlight. The water within did not lie still, it swirled slowly, showing not a reflection, but shifting images, a herd of antelope running, a tree heavy with fruit, a dark, promising cloud. Before it stood a figure. She was tall, her form seeming to be made of the same substance as the well, shifting, ethereal, yet solid. Her eyes were deep pools of calm. I am Udo, she said, and her voice was the sound of water over smooth pebbles. Keeper of the mirror. You are Ada. You are Chima. Children of Ileri. They bowed, awestruck. The well appears for one, Udo continued, her gaze resting on each of them. Its power is for one wish, one boon to mend a great lap. Yet two stand before me. This has never been. Let me speak, Ada blurted out, stepping forward. My heart is fierce for our people. I would ask for a river, right beside the village, so no one ever thirsts again. Chima found his voice. A river can flood or go dry. I would ask for the knowledge, the wisdom to make the land flourish in any season, for us and our children. Would you observe them? One wish. Two worthy hearts. The well cannot be split like a kola nut. Then choose, Ada said, clenching her fist. Test us. Udo inclined her head. The well tests intent. You will each walk a separate path, and see the truth of your own wish. She waved a hand. A vine bridge appeared over the well, leading into the shimmering air. Ada, walk the path of plenty. Ada, without a backward glance, crossed the bridge and was swallowed by light. Another path, of solid, dark earth, appeared at Chima's feet. Chima walked the path of wisdom. With a last worried look at where his sister had gone, Chima walked on. Ada's path, she found herself in a vibrant Ileri. A mighty, laughing river curved by the village. Children splashed, women filled pots effortlessly. But she saw the fields, waterlogged, yam roots rotting. The people grew lazy, arguing over the best fishing spots. The river was everything, and soon, it was the only thing. Their old skills, their resilience, were washing away. Chima's path, he saw a village of scholars. The people studied clouds, soil, and seeds. Their granaries were orderly, their techniques perfect. But their eyes were tired. The joy of the first rain, the communal struggle and triumph, was gone. Their hearts were as calculated as their irrigation channels. The song of the village had faded into hushed tale. They returned to the clearing, both pale and shaken. Ada's first joy was tempered, Chima's calm assurance was troubled. I saw my wish, Ada confessed, her voice small. It was a gift that made us weak. And I saw mine, Chima said. It gave us answers, but stole our spirit. They looked at each other, truly looked, for the first time since entering the clearing. They saw not a rival, but a sibling whose heart held the other half of a solution. Udo watched, a ghost of a smile on her lips. The well's power is for one. But the holders of that power need not be one. Ada turned to Chima. A river is no good if we don't know how to live with it. Chima nodded. Knowledge is a dry seed without the water to make it grow. Together, they faced the well. The swirling images slowed, showing their village as it was, parched, but with people whose eyes still held hope. What is your boon? Udo asked. Ada spoke, her voice clear. For the water to return, Chima finished, his voice strong. And for our people to remember, and to learn, how to sing with it. They spoke not as two individuals, but as a single voice of their generation. The well's water brightened, glowing from within. A single, perfect drop rose from its center. It split in two in midair, one flying to Ada's forehead, one to Chima's. Where they touched, a tiny, intricate mark shimmered, like a wave meeting a grain of seed, then faded. The well is not a giver of things, Udo said, her form beginning to blend with the light. It is a mirror. It reflects the heart of a generation back to the land. You have shown a heart that is both brave and thoughtful, generous and wise. You have shown unity. The clearing began to fade. The scent of water lilies grew stronger. Look to the termite mound at dawn, Udo's voice echoed. Back in the village, as the first pink light touched the sky, a shout went up. At the base of the great termite mound, where the earth had been hardest, a spring bubbled forth, clear and cool. It was not a river, but a steady, reliable source. And as the people gathered, laughing and crying, Ada and Chima found that when they stood near the water, they knew things. Ada felt where to place channels so the water would nourish without drowning. Chima understood which seeds would thrive in the newly damp soil. Their knowledge was intuitive, cooperative, a quiet song between them. Grandmother Ezin scooped the first drink, her eyes on her grandchildren. You found the mirror, she said. And it showed you yourselves. The well was gone, its duty fulfilled for another generation. But in Ileri, the spring of siblings flowed, a testament that the greatest magic is not in receiving a single wish, but in weaving two hearts together to answer a single call.